Um, I've struggled, making this video. But it's something I feel like I need to do. So for anyone watching, I'm doing this mainly for myself. To release and heal in some way. I'm also doing it for anyone who's feeling like I've been feeling. Grief of any kind. And I want you to know that you're not alone, buddy. I'm right here. And it's gonna be okay. So, I wanted to tell this story because it's a beautiful story. The ending's not the best, but it's still beautiful. And it still happened to me for a reason. All of it. So, by the title, you either know him or don't know him. Probably know him. It's probably why you clicked on this video. His name was Townes Jack Jacobs. And he was such a beautiful soul. I just want to start out by saying that. And I plan to tell the whole story, and there's going to be some things that I don't mention because I feel that it's irrelevant and it's also private. I made a list of things I'm not going to mention. Got it right here. So I'm not going to mention private information. I'm not going to mention intimate details. I'm also not going to mention his DOC because I think that is not important here. The important part is that this soul changed all of us. He made me who I am right now. And I'm sure many people can say the same. And that's what's important. But yeah, I just want to tell the story and maybe help someone else going through a similar thing. So I wanted to give background information about how I got here, how I met him. I met him in a place I'm still living at, a transitional shelter in Kitchener-Waterloo area. So it's probably a shock to some people because I don't tell a lot of people that. It's only, people that, are my close-knit that really know that information about me. And it's something I've been dealing with for years now. But like I just said, I don't know, I feel like everything happens for a reason. And it brought me here for a reason, and that's including meeting Townes. Like, I would not be the same person I am if I didn't meet this person. And we'll get into that. But, so yeah, I just want to start off with my background story. I'm not going to get too much into, my history and my family history. If you want to know more about that, please ask me, or I can make a video telling the story about that, but that's not what this video is about. It's about towns. So yeah, but I just want to give a preface to how I even got here, because you're going to be confused as to how I even ended up here. So, okay, so my path, how I got here. So, I met my daughter's dad in 2014, and we got pregnant in 2015 and had her obviously in 2016, and she was born on June 8, 2016. Her name is Lily Marie. She's just my everything. But yeah, we had her and it was great, but our relationship was never really stable emotionally, financially. Like, I'm not really gonna get into, you know, that part of it, but we did have a rough relationship, her dad and I, and that ultimately led to us breaking up when she was 8 months old. And I struggled for a while. I was the one who ended it, but I meant like struggle with financially and emotionally, and having to take care of a baby by myself. Like, it was a lot. Like, I had one of my really good friends moving in with me, and she helped me a lot with like bills and, you know, just like emotional support. Like, she's my best friend. But like, it was still an tense thing to go through. And he just kind of left us in the dust, like, and we were left to pay for everything. And 6 months down the road, your hydro starts going off. You know, you're feeding your kid. You buy all the baby food, because she was 1 at the time. You buy all the baby food, you buy all the diapers, you buy that stuff in bulk, but there's no money for yourself to eat, so you're just living off tap water, right? It was really draining to live off tap water and take care of her, but she needed to live. But yeah, so eventually I started calling shelters that, you know, we could go to. I called a couple like domestic violence shelters, and they said that we didn't meet their mandate because the partner had already been gone. So it's not like we were fleeing, which is so silly, because we were still fleeing the same situation, you know. Even if he's not there, it resulted into that. But anyway, I found a place that I met the mandate for. Me and Lily met the mandate for when she was 1. She was about 14 months old, and we moved in there, and it's the place I'm at right now, actually. And we lived there for 11 months. We moved out when she was 2, and we moved into another transitional shelter in Cambridge. Eventually left there after 9 months and had to come back here for the second time. So me and Lily have been in transitional shelters for 3 years. We don't qualify for any emergency housing status because we're not a domestic violence victim, and the places that we live are like, they have terms where you can stay up to a year, so that's not like considered like as us being in enough poverty, I guess. But yeah, we had to come back here for the second time, and so I moved in second time April 1st of 2019, and then Towns moved in the first week of May. And that's how I met him. And I want to really describe to you, like, meeting him for the first time, because it was really strange. So I was mopping. I was doing my chore, because living in a shelter, you have to do a chore every day. So I was on supper chore, and I was just mopping. And staff was obviously having a meeting and wasn't in the office, so I was just like in the kitchen by myself. And the staff room is right off the kitchen, so they weren't in there. But anyways, I was just mopping, just doing my chore, and this guy walks in. And I just have the mop in my hand, and I'm like, hi. Like, because I was wondering what the heck he was doing there. Like, hi. Like, it's just doing my supper tour. Like, what the fuck? I was just confused. And then he just goes, hi. And then he lets someone in at the side door. And it's a woman that I don't know. And, well, I don't know him or her at the time, but... And then staff comes in, and I realize that, like, she's doing, like, an intake and a tour. And I was like, oh, okay, like, this chick's gonna be moving in, probably. Like, okay, that's her boyfriend. Cool. Next day, Towns moves in. And I was super confused, along with all of the other residents. Because we were wondering how he met the mandate at all, right? Like, the mandate for here is you have to be either pregnant, or you have to be a single mom, or you have to be trying to get your kid back if you are struggling with that. So it has to be one of three, usually. And we were super confused as to why they were here. Like... So, basically, you know, I asked him, like, you know, are you pregnant? Like, because sometimes, you know, chicks move in, they're just, like, skinny, and I'm like, oh, they're just pregnant, like, not far along, it's fine. And I'm like, are you pregnant? And Towns was like, no. And I was like, okay, do you have a kid? And he's like, no. And I was like, okay, so how did you get in here? Like, and he basically told me that, like, they made an exception for him, and he's transgendered, and so he was born a female, but yeah, so that's how, like, they made an exception for him, because he meets a mandate because he was homeless, and then also, like, he is, like, I don't know, like, some sort of, like, struggle there. And then also, you know, they had to have a meeting of whether or not they were even going to admit him, because he doesn't meet the mandate at all. But they admitted him because he said he was okay, you know, to be around children, and, you know, he likes kids and all that stuff, so, and he needed a place to live, so they admitted him. And that's how I met him. And we ended up sharing a wall. So not even just living with him, I literally shared a wall with this person. So they lived right beside me. And from there, like, he was dating someone at the time, which, shout out, you know who you are. And we're all cool. But, he was dating someone at the time, but they ended up breaking up. But yeah, I'm not gonna expose anything about that, but they ended up breaking up, and that's when I kind of, like, started like, falling for him, I guess. I heard him singing and playing his ukulele in the kitchen, and I was, like, fangirling at first. I was like, oh my god. And then the one day, and we would all just, like, hang out, like on the porch or whatever, and just, like, just laugh or whatever and make jokes and all that stuff. But yeah, the one day, I think he heard me singing. I think maybe he was in the shower, or I was singing Lily a nursery rhyme. I'm not sure. And he just goes, was that you? Like, And I was like, what? And he was like, you know, the person singing. And, like, that wasn't me. And I was like, I mean, yeah, that was me. And he's like, you're actually really good. And, like, it's so weird because, like, before that moment, like, I hadn't been singing for a long time. A long time. Like, I would sing in the shower and myself, sometimes my friends, but, like, it wasn't really singing. And I've always loved it so much. Like, I used to take vocal lessons when I was younger, and, like, I sang for, like, that was my, I guess, hobby when I was growing up. Like, kids do sports and stuff like that, but, like, I loved to sing. And up until he said that, like, it was just, like, it gave me, like, confidence to be like, why aren't I singing? Like, I like doing it, and some people seem to like how I sound, so what am I doing? Like, it gives me endorphins, you know, it keeps me happy, so why aren't I doing it? And it was just because I didn't have enough confidence to do it. Like, I didn't have, like, at that point, like, my self-worth was just building up again, right? Like, I was just learning to love myself. And he helped me do that a lot. And I would not be posting YouTube videos by any means if it wasn't for Townes Jacobs. 100%. Because he believed in me and, like, my love for music, and he had such a love for music that I admired it so much that, like, I realized how much I admire music, but I just forgot that. I forgot, like, how much I love to sing and how much I love music. And then we also started bonding because we both are historical fiction nerds, because I'm a history major currently, so we kind of had that in common also. But it was super strange because, like, I remember it was maybe like a week or two in, and he asked me, like, you know, about if I was gay or not. And up until that point, no one really asked me that. I was like, what do you think? Like, and he was like, I think you're queer. And I was like, oh, I don't really like to be labeled anything. Probably, like, you don't like to be labeled anything either, huh? He's like, that's true. And so I think from that point, he definitely knew that, like, I had some scale there. But it's funny, like, later that day, I go to my best friend Emma, shout out Emma, and I go, yo, Townes asked me today if I was queer, and, like, this is really early on our, like, little flirtationship, whatever it was at the beginning. And I was like, Townes asked me if I was queer today. And then my best friend goes, haha, no. And I go, yeah. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, bro, like, for sure. Like, I like both, for sure. Like, I've known that for a long time. And she's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, I've known that for, like, my entire life, basically. And she's like, yeah, I didn't know that. Like, I'm like, well, now you do. So I also, it's so weird because, like, he helped me come out. Like, I know I would have gotten there eventually, but, like, he definitely, like, helped me know that it's okay to be myself. 100%. Like, that I don't have to aim for anything. That I can just be myself, and that is enough. It's okay, you know? Like, that's great. I've always, like, was, you know, taught that I should be aiming for something else, something higher, whatever that is. Or I was always taught to be trying to mold myself into something else. something that I can never be. And he helped me realize how silly that really is. You should always love yourself for who you are. All the flaws. Because the flaws are what makes it exciting. It makes it you. Like, what you consider flaws, other people consider like their favorite parts about you, you know? It would be boring if we didn't have flaws. It's the quirks that make us who we are, you know? And he really showed me that. But yeah, we had a whirlwind relationship. It was like I guess you could call it like a summer love, fall love. There was such happy moments. Like moments I'll never forget that he gave me. And I just felt that spark again, like I was able to open up again and, you know, love myself, but also love someone else. He showed me that I'm special. And there was a lot of struggles too, for sure. He had a lot of struggles with addiction and mental health. But underneath it all, he was such a good soul and beautiful, like just such a beautiful person. And I tried to help him in every way that I could through living in a shelter together while he's dealing with like his depression and struggling with his addiction, and he doesn't want like our kids to be around him because he's such a good guy. So it's not like he was just like shoving it in our faces. He was truly struggling with this. He didn't want to have, you know, that part of him, but it was a part of him regardless. But yeah, I even like there were times where he would just, you know, disappear for days. And it wasn't malicious. It was literally he didn't want us, like, he didn't want to bring us down. That's what he would say. Like, he would feel so bad about us having to see him like that or deal with it. He would, like, feel so guilty. And he would just, you know, run away, and because he didn't want us, you know, struggling with it. But then we would struggle because we wouldn't know where he was. And, you know, I would have his parents be texting me on updates if they've, like, if I've seen it, if I've heard from him, and I'd be like, yeah, he called me yesterday. And just, like, stuff like that. And we'd always have to be mindful of, you know, where he was. And it was a lot. Especially dealing with, you know, thoughts of surrendering that he had. I definitely had to stop him a few times from doing stuff to himself that I don't even want to get into. He taught me so much about addiction and how it's so different for everyone. It's individual completely. I've had my own experience with seeing addiction. My parents are addicts. Yeah, they're alcoholics, and I'm not saying that to like belittle it by calling them alcoholics. That's just what it is. And it has to do with, you know, a part of why I'm here, why I don't have family support. It's because it's not healthy for Lily to be around on a regular basis anyway. And then, so yeah, I've had to see my parents go through addiction my entire life. But it was so different seeing it with Towns. It was like and that's when I learned that, you know, it's different for everyone, and not everyone wants to get better. Towns really, really, really wanted to. Really. He would spend hours talking to you about how he wanted to. How he didn't want to be like this. And you wish things were different. But there's some people who don't want to get help. And I've learned to accept that. I can't make someone get help, you know. I can support someone, be there for them like I was with Towns, and, you know, go to meetings with them. But as far as like them coming down to it and asking for help and like actually doing the work, I can't make someone do that. And I learned that with Towns, that I can't make even my own parents do that, you know? Can't force someone's hand. Addiction is a tricky, tricky thing. And so yeah, I got to a point where we were, you know, in a relationship, and he had gotten a place for treatment, and he went there at the beginning of November. I'll show you guys something. Right before he left to go to treatment, pulled out a guitar pick, and just a little free draw in there. So that's E. It's the letter, and then there's T there. And then do you see that? I don't know if you can see that. It says like to the power of 12. Because both our favorite numbers are 12, ironically. Don't ask. We both have a lot of reasons why. But it's just like really like one of the things we had in common that both of our favorite numbers are 12. And then on the back, it says, "I'll follow you round in this tune," which is a lyric from a song called Lay Low that he covers, by Shovels and Rope. And he wrote that lyric because a few days before he had played me Lay Low and sang it to me, and it made me like cry because of the context. And so yeah, he made that, and I was gonna make it into a necklace eventually. But also I have a picture of him that I had when we were dating, because someone took this picture because they were doing an article on musicians and homelessness. I'm not really sure, but they took a picture of him. They took multiple, but I have this. And yeah, this was above my bed for a while, TMI, but yeah. So he went to treatment, and he did really well there. That's the first thing I want to say. He did so much work there and put so much time and like soul into getting help. I can say that truly. So I have 2 letters. First letter is when he first got there. And then I went to go visit him. And then a second letter came. But I'm going to read you the first letter. Blur out the address, I guess. Yeah, it says Towns, Jack Jacobs. This is the first letter that he sent me when we were still together. Because second letter is the breakup letter. And we're going to get into that. And I just want to say I don't have any ill feelings towards this. I believe at the time it was the right decision. And also, I think everything happens for a reason. And at the time, I might have been distraught when I got that letter, but I truly believed it happened to me for a reason. And meeting him, definitely, but... November 7th, 2019. I haven't read this letter in a while, so just bear with me here, okay? Alright. Dearest Amelia, hello, my love. I'm thriving at Stonehenge already. I love the women here already, and they are giving me fuel to continue fighting my battles by supporting me and sharing their own struggles, and being vulnerable and strong. I want to say a few things to you that I've said before, but feel they should be put in writing. Nothing scary, smiley face. You have been a rock in my life lately, and I am grateful in so many ways to have you as a big part in my life. Thank you for all your love and care. You are a beautiful person, and I love you. Thank you for Lily. Having her in my life makes a difference to my everyday, and I love being a surrogate dad. She is so special, and both of you deserve me at my best. Therefore, I am here and trying my hardest to be that version of myself. For me, too. You are beautiful, period. And then he says, well, he crossed it out, but he said, Lily's dad sucks. So does what's-her-face, probably. And then he crossed it out and said, arrow. I instantly felt bad writing that. So I crossed it out. And then he says, tonight is commencement for previous clients of Stonehenge and celebrating their journey. I'm going to dress up and look classy. It'll be fun to see the product of the program, eat cake, and feel compelled to finish the program myself, smiley face. How are you, babe? What are you up to lately? I want to hear all about it. I love you so much. Love, Towns. XOXOXO. P.S. I'm working out every day and will be a cut-ass babe very soon, though I know you love any shape or form of me, as you already have, heart. P.P.S. Included some push-ups, which are little notes illuminating good behaviors here. Push-ups. Towns, thank you for a great education session. Towns, for letting us let us use your CDs during art program. You're so giving, in a good way. Towns, for jumping in and helping with education session and teaching on step 1. So that was the first letter. I wrote him a letter back, and then I got a second letter. And this letter was pretty hard to read the first time, and I've probably only read it once other than that, because it was pretty brutal. Not because of him, but because I I was in love with him. And to like gush about him to other people, meanwhile letters being mailed to me, it was just a little hard for me to deal with at the time. But like I said, everything happens for a reason, and I feel like it did for a reason. Breakup letter. Dear Amelia, this is November 29th, 2019. Dear Amelia, I really don't know how to begin. I want to reiterate what I said to you a few months ago, and then again somewhat recently. I don't know how I got here, this deep, and it scares me for you. Whew. Okay. Work myself through this right now. Alright. I don't have a lot to give right now, and what I do have, it's for me and my recovery. I'm scared. I'm scared and almost certain that I don't feel the intense feelings you have for me. Not to make assumptions, but I am and have been feeling that way for quite a while. I don't think it's fair to you. It makes me feel like I'm living a lie, not giving you the honest and transparent unconditional love you deserve, and oh, how you deserve it. I don't want to hurt you. I feel that with every day that passes, it becomes more and more cruel to allude to the fact that I feel the same way you are. I know I mentioned in the past that I can't do this, and I just really don't think I can right now. It's nothing that you have or haven't done. You've been perfectly accepting, loving, and kind to me. I just don't feel the same way. You deserve the world, and honestly, someone who loves you unconditionally. I love you, but I'm not in love. It haunts me that we're on a different wavelength in that regard. I think about it every day. This doesn't mean I don't care, that I don't want you in my life. However, that is entirely up to you. Like I said, you've done me no wrong, and I don't know how to be the man you think I am with the love you deserve, and the love you may not think you need. Not right now, anyway. God, I'm so sorry. I don't know how else to say it. I feel like I'm a total asshole, but I know in my heart that every day that passes with me leading you to believe I feel the same way makes me more of an asshole. You deserve better. I hope you're okay. Sincerely and with love, Townsend. Whew. Wow. So even the breakup letter was beautiful. This is what I'm saying. Like, it didn't matter. Like, now it didn't matter to me. Like, now it doesn't matter to me that, like, we broke up or whatever. Because I still wanted him in my life, because Townsend's the kind of person, he was just so present. Besides, running away. But, like, when you were with him, I mean, like, one-on-one. Like, he was, like, present. He wasn't on his phone, which, like, he's not really into, like, technology. But, like, he was never on his phone. He wasn't, like, he usually wasn't thinking about something else. He was just, like, focused on what was going on, and, like I said, present, and was just always, like, just trying to make people laugh and build them up and, like, entertain them. And even that letter to me was the perfect way to break up with me. Like, at the time I didn't think so, because I do think I deserve more than a letter, just because of everything we've been through already. Like, and he even said that, like, I definitely deserve more than a letter, but that's all he had, right? So so I didn't write a letter back. I didn't know what to say, really, I was hurt, and I needed to process it, and also he needed to focus on him. That's literally what he said, is that he needed to focus on that. So, yeah. Eventually he got out. And, we talked on Facebook, and, you know, we kind of went through the whole thing and kind of talked it out. And I said I wanted him in my life as a friend because of how much joy he brought into my life, and how, like I've been saying, he molded me into a better person. Like, I believe in myself now. I love myself. Like, I actually have worth in myself, where I'm not gonna be, like, manipulated by other people who are trying to, you know, hurt me. And I have boundaries now. I love myself, and I would not, without a doubt in my mind, have gotten to this point without him. So I was like, hell yeah, we can be friends, because you're, like, I've always said to him, because a lot of the time we didn't really have a title when we were dating. We were just kind of, you know, lovers. I always told him, like, you mean more to me as a person than any title ever could. Period. Like, no matter what position that is, and if that's just friends, then that's good enough for me, because I know that there's someone, you know, who will love me and see my worth. So, like, why am I gonna dwell on my friend not being able to give me what I deserve and them breaking up with me? Like, that's life. And so yeah, we just moved on from that, and we were friends. He was doing so well, and he had done so well there at the program, and so I ended up meeting up with him with two of our mutual friends. They came and just like sat in front of my house with me, but it was a surreal moment, like, meeting up with him again after he got out of treatment, because the last time I saw him he was going into treatment. Or actually, the last time I saw him, I visited him at the treatment center. So that was the last time I saw him. And it was just so surreal, him walking up to the very house that I met him in, and, like, me waiting on the porch for, like, you know, the 100th time, because I was always waiting on the porch for him to come. But yeah, he walked up, his friends behind him, and we hugged. Like, that's the first thing we did. And you know, me, him, and his friends just talked outside for a bit, and I also gave him this Christmas present I was originally supposed to give him, but then we broke up, so it was kind of like, do I just send it, or I don't know. So I never ended up giving it to him, and it was an Alexa, like an Echo Dot, because one of our things was, like, I had an Alexa, and we were always yelling at Alexa because she could never get the song that we wanted. We'd be like, Alexa, no, like, stop, like, that's not the right one. Like, it just gets so mad. And I thought he would appreciate having one, because, like, he loves music, and, like, he really appreciated the sleep sounds too. There's, like, thunderstorms on it, and, like, he loves that shit. I do too. But yeah, like, I thought he'd appreciate having one, so I got him one. So I gave him that, and he used it for a bit. But yeah, yeah, we just talked outside for a bit, and then we hugged a second time, and it was for longer. It was tighter. And then they left. And that's the last time I saw him. And that was June 2nd. And here we are to the last part of the story, I guess. So I didn't find out right away what had happened. I found out a few days later. It had happened on June 26th, the Friday, 2020. He had just turned 30 in April. 8 months sober. I didn't find out till the Sunday night, but he had died. found out through Facebook originally. And then, you know, I texted his parents my condolences, told them that I was there for them. Because I was there for his parents through a lot of that shit. Like, because I was living with him and then I started dating him, and like they were always like trying to see if I had seen him, and you know, I supported them through a lot of that stuff. And so I just texted them my condolences, and I just said, you know, I loved him very much and I'm here if they need anything. What else can you really say, right? They texted me back and they said thank you, and Tim told me about the celebration of life, and I'm really glad that they're doing that, because it's going to be a lot of healing for everyone, like. But yeah, he ended up relapsing and dying, and it's been rough ever since. I'm really thankful for my blessings, especially Lily. Even just having a roof. Really thankful that I found, also, because I started going to therapy this year for Okay to Be Me. It started off as Okay to Be Me counseling, and then it got extended further and further, because I just, like, I had never gone to therapy before, counseling, anything like that. Never had, like, a face to talk to that was, like, unbiased, you know? Besides, like, you know, family or friends. And I've been seeing her for almost a year. And she's helping me a lot through this grief. Don't even know what else to call it. It's been really difficult, especially because I met him here. I still live here. His room is empty. It feels like I live with the ghost. I'm not gonna lie. I just stare at that wall, or I stare at his door, and memories just flood back. Even walking around the house, like, you see a certain thing and just floods back, right? Like, and the fact that his room's empty, it just makes it surreal. And like I said, it feels like I'm living with a ghost a lot of the time. And it's not like it's a bad ghost, but it's still haunting, you know? But yeah, I wanted... It's weird. Something just slid down. Got me to laugh, though. That sound, whatever that was. Oh. Yeah, I wanted to make this video. Ooh, okay. I wanted to make this video because there's a lot of people who are going through the same thing as me right now. Whether that be, you know, towns, or you've had someone close to you be lost. They get, you know. It's a lot to deal with, especially if, like, you have to live in the place that you met them and fell in love with them, like. But like I've been saying, this is still such, like, a beautiful story, and it happened to me for a reason. It taught me so much about myself, about life, music, and just like being vulnerable. And it's also taught me that love is always possible, guys. Always possible. When you least expect it, it just whew. And it might not be there for very long, but it's always possible. And people get to such points where they think, sorry, I'm like rubbing my nose. They think that, you know, there's no hope, that they'll be single forever, blah, blah, blah. Which I have had those feelings. I'm not trying to belittle them. I've had those feelings. But I feel like once someone builds up their self-worth enough and they love themselves and they're able to, you know, enjoy their own company, that's when you meet, you know, a soulmate, where you get to a point where you love yourself and you're able to love someone else truly. And he taught me so much about, like I said, myself and like life, and even about like addiction. Like I said, like it's so different for each individual, and there's no right path really. It's a hard thing to have to deal with, and I have sympathy for it, truly. And with my parents, like, it's not even just them being addicts that I can't be around them. It's the emotional abuse, truly. That's another thing Towns taught me, that, like, I don't have to take shit. I don't have to take someone talking shit constantly or making me feel bad about myself or making me feel like I'm not good enough. And that's why I can't be around my parents also, is that they make me feel that way. They have for a very long time. And he truly made me accept myself for who I am, and like even gave me like body confidence. Like before him, like I had a notion and was taught that being curvy is not ideal. That's what I was taught. I was taught that you should aim to be skinny because then you'll get a relationship because you're beautiful because you're skinny. That's what I was taught in my childhood, which is, we can get into that later, another time, but he gave me the confidence to love myself, my body and myself for who I am. And like this time last year, I was not wearing shorts or dresses, and look at me today, I'm wearing shorts. Like, he taught me that loving yourself for who you are is beautiful, and that like there are people who are actually attracted to my body type, and he is, and like there are many other people that actually prefer it. And like I started actually appreciating my body and like my peach butt, you know, like, and then if you got it, flaunt it. You shouldn't try to be, I always was trying to hide it, my curves. I was always trying to hide it because that's what I was molded into be doing. And then I realized that like I should be showing them off. Like, why am I trying to make people perceive me as skinny when I know I'll never ever be skinny? Like, I have a low fucking metabolism. It's not gonna happen. And I should appreciate that thick thighs save lives, and that's it. Like, and he gave me that confidence, like, straight up. Like, it came within myself, but he gave me that little extra boost, you know? Like, he just taught me so many things, and like he changed my life forever. And he's a beautiful soul, and I'll love him forever. I truly think he was one of my soulmates, and I think we have a lot of soulmates in this life. He's definitely one of them. And the timing of it all, of how we met and like sharing a wall, and like it just didn't happen by coincidence. Like there's no way. I just want everyone to know that I don't want this video to like, I'm surprised you've even made it this far. I don't want this video to be dishonoring him at all. The point of this video is to honor this beautiful soul that was on this earth and to cherish him. I don't want anyone to think anything negative towards him, because he was truly, truly like a kind and pure soul. Like pure. He never had ill intentions towards anyone. I feel like everyone should live their life that way. So I don't want to be disrespectful to him or his family. So if they ask me to take this video down, I'll do it. I will straight up do it, because even though it's my perspective and, you know, freedom of speech and all that, I don't want to disrespect them or make them feel that I'm dishonoring him. Because all I want to do is for people to honor him and like know how great he was, you know? And I just want to reiterate that if you're going through something like this, grief, there's a silver lining. And I know it may not seem like it now, but you're going through this pain for a reason, which sucks. Tell me about it, I know. But you'll get through it, and you are not alone. There are many, many other people who are going through the same thing. And I think we all need to be there for each other and be kind to one another, because you don't know what someone's going through, right? Like, make sure your friends are okay. Like, this video is way too long, and I knew it was gonna be long, but I needed to release. I'm trying to find some healing. I don't know, like, and that, to me, I'm gonna try and heal through creativity, which just may not seem really as a creative thing, but it may to some people. I really, really want to cover some of his songs, some of his original songs, and when I do, I won't even really put it, like, I won't really put a description underneath. I'll just put his link to his YouTube channel that he had with all his songs on it. Well, not all his songs, but good chunk. But yeah, I also want to cover Lay Low, because that was kind of our song, I guess. I don't know. And it's a really beautiful song, Lay Low by Shovels and Rope. I really want to kind of honor him with music too. Do some of his originals and then do that song. I just want / need to heal from this, and I'm trying to do it in the best way, which there is no right way, but I feel like me just talking in front of this camera right now, it's helping me heal. And the main reason I did it was for me, but it's also for anyone else. And if this helps you, me, talking this out and being open and being vulnerable about the situation helps you in some way, I'm really, really thankful for that. And like I said, you're not alone. I'm right here, buddy. Like, okay, I think it's been an hour. Goodness sakes. I think this is gonna be it for this video. I don't really know how to end it. I did expect to cry. I did expect that. Something I knew I was probably gonna do. But I just needed to get this off of my shoulders, and also like the story of us, I guess, and like the story of me too, like story of Towns, because like I said, it's a beautiful story. Okay. Well, I'm sending good vibes to you all, and be kind to one another, and peace and love. Okay.